So I really don't know how to solve this problem. I'm telling you.
I've been battling. I've been so battling. So if somebody does have a solution, I know, you know, I've been on the phone to them. I've literally spoken to them. I've tried Skype to them. If anybody's got a solution to this, this would be really, really cool, because a lot of us are battling. So I've got about, I've just done 5 VIP packages last week, and all 5 I cannot get them linked to the Carrot Bit exchange. Carrot Pay works, everything works. I can move everything. We've been able to buy their cat. I need to say Bitcoin Cash can buy their Cash Gold, and they can move that on. But I just also cannot. So if anybody has got a solution, if you could type that into the group and give us ways that we can do that, because I also see that they're no longer taking Skype calls, that they really want us to focus on actually physically phone calls. One of the things they said to me, which I haven't tried, only because the people that I'm working with don't want to do it, and I don't know what the next solution is I was told that log into Carrot Bit and register as a new user anyway. And then what you do is, with that username, and then you're going to use a different email address, and they will link it, link the accounts. I haven't tried that, so I don't know. That was the last time support told me on the phone, and I said, but my client doesn't want to create a new email address. They want to use their email address. So that was what I was told by support. So I don't think even support knows how to solve this problem. And if you do try and phone support, you must do them before 5 o'clock in the day, because otherwise that department doesn't work after 5 o'clock. So if anybody's got a solution to that, I would really appreciate it. That would be super, super awesome. Super cool. If we could do that, that would be great. Okay. Super. Anything else? But thanks, George. If we have let's put that one out and see if who can help us with solving that one. That would be great. I'll also send another message to Marcus and ask Marcus how we can solve this problem. Awesome. Thank you, guys. Great. Super. Tessa, you got caught in the bushes in the back there. Awesome. Picking up your puppy. I believe he had an awesome time at the Yorkie Hotel as well. I believe he had an amazing time at the Yorkie Hotel.
I didn't want to come back.
That's just terrible. That's just terrible that your puppies don't want to come back after being in the Yorkie Hotel, hey? Shame. All right. So today's session, if there's anybody else want to say anything else? All good? So whoever's got a solution to that, let's post that on the group and see if we can't get that one solved as well. Okay, so guys, when I first started with, gosh, it was way back when we were still Skill Dragon. And I won this prize, which was 7-figure duplication secrets from Masing Michal. And, you know, it's amazing how you start saying, okay, let me start looking at something refreshing. What's going to be my personal growth? George really looks like he's camping. I love it. It's so cool. Okay, so and then I started looking, saying, what is going to be my modus operandi? What am I going to be looking at over this December period? And there's nothing better than literally going back to basics. Okay, and some of you have been on my group and I've shared this with, but I'm just going to go through this in a little bit of a slower manner. So please, if you've got questions, type them in the question box or unmute or just put your hand up and let's ask questions as we go through this, because this is where duplication happens. And in all of our businesses, you know, we've had such a big run from March until now. We've been pushing, and it's time for us to actually take a deep breath and say, all right, where is my team? Have a look at my team, strategize and say, well, who needs help in my team, and that kind of thing. Because there's a lot of things going on at the moment, and we just need to stay focused on what is the right things to be going through. So we all know now, all of you who are on GBG, the reason why I'm showing you this is because this is actually where GBG actually originated from in its actual practical format. So what I would like to do is I'd like to make sure that everybody, that all of us we can actually make sure that all of us understand. And there's some people on this group who are not on GBG for whatever reasons. We're not on GBG, but this is actually where the first hour and the timeline and where it actually comes from in our Go Beyond Gold back office. But for those of you who don't have GBG, I want to show you this practical application tool and how important it is that when we do onboard somebody, how important that first hour is with them. Now, when I go through this process, you'll probably maybe try and spend an hour with the person. Try not to spend longer than an hour. I'm going to be explaining a lot in detail, so it might take us up to an hour, but it is important to keep it to an hour. If you've got your GBG, you'll be able to watch the GBG video, which is literally will also should take you 45 minutes to an hour. So the first hour of bringing a person into your business, into your Carrot Bars business and working with it will be that first hour. And sometimes we overlook this. I'm guilty as charged. The reason why this came to my mind is because I've just put in a whole group of people and I'm thinking, how am I going to deal with them? And it goes back to, let's just go back to basics and let's just focus on one step at a time. And this applies to everything that we do in life, and that is about focusing on that. What is the basics? Because it's about the basics that work for all of us, and I've mentioned that before. So the most important timeline on your whole duplication, and I'm going to go through a couple of timelines. We'll see if this is, I'll check my calendar and see if, I don't think this is the last one for this year, but we'll see how we can go from there. But when a person is signed up, they are apprehensive or they're excited, they're not quite sure in feeling where they are. So here's your new opportunity to take them through the 10 steps of getting started correctly. Okay, some of you have seen this checklist, some of you have not seen this checklist, okay? And we used to use this checklist way back, and it was edited and for us when we first had MLG, okay, MLG. Sorry, let me just put my, all these pop-ups that are happening here. Okay, we used to have it for MLG. We kind of lost the plot with it. But basically, here's a checklist of how we're going to get and for how we're going to actually grow our businesses to 7 figures. And if we give a person a checklist, and you know what, I love electronics, but I'm old school. For me, I want to give somebody a proper hard copy checklist and say, this is what we're going to be working through. All right, that's how I like to work. Hence, I love my old fold over. I've got one here and I'm looking at it. My old Amway fold over plan, which was good old faithful. Let me tell the story. This is how you place your business. This is what you got to do. And I can give this to someone that I'm working with. So I'm designing one for my team, and we're working through how we can tie this into the physical presentation when we do a one-on-one, so our newbies know the process to follow through, and then of course use our GBG for our training at a later stage. So let's go through what that checklist is. The first point on that checklist is purchase your membership plus all your products and service. So fortunately with Carrot Bars, our membership is free. So we sign them up, and this is the first lesson. And it's so important that when we take a person through this process, hence the hiccup now from getting them signed up and registered from Carrot Bars to Carrot Bits is a problem, because it stops this whole process and it starts making it difficult. And we need to try and streamline it as easy as possible. So it is, you sign them up, teach them that this is their first lesson of signing up, and get themselves that they can explain that sign up step process to you. Because if they can explain it back to you, then you know they can explain it to someone else. So how did I register you? What did we do? Where did we go? What are the links that I gave you? Where did you find the link? And spend 2 minutes, because sometimes we just tell, and we forget to ask the question. So remember, it's like, okay, so George, how did I sign you up? What was the process that I went through? Is it step by step that we've got through on our checklist here, and how does it actually follow? So that they know exactly when they've got this little piece of paper, they then can go and sign their person up and follow the process. Of course, the buying of the product, okay, that would be signing themselves up, buying the product as well, making sure they understand the product. And then the authorship. this is when, if you in step one and we get the culture, guys, I think that again, we've forgotten that we're actually a company that helps people distribute gold. And I'm grateful for the cryptos. I'm extremely grateful for that. But we're so busy selling that crypto that we're now battling to transition our people into the hashtag Gold Friday. Okay, and the whole purpose of our getting them to come on board is so that we can help them to buy the gold on a regular basis, which means we need to help them to make sure that they can create that cash flow so that they can actually get in one of those steps that follow from there. So that would be the authorship. Okay, creating the right behavior from day one would be that they know exactly what the steps are that they need to follow. And then can we explain the difference between the levels, or where on their dashboard they can see that there's a difference between bronze, silver, gold, and VIP? Do they understand that? And then make sure that they're starting on the package that suits them. So it's very important for us to go through this. I know we're doing it naturally, but our newbie, it's not that easy for them to do. So if you've got any questions, ask them in the chat box. Thank you for joining, everybody who's joining. It's awesome to see you guys on board, and it's really great to have you guys here, and I really appreciate your time. Okay, point number 2 is sign up into the company's team support systems. Guys, it's so important. Now, please remember, there's certain support systems that you have that are the bigger groups, and within those bigger groups, there's a lot of chit chat that goes on in those bigger groups. I want to caution you from putting newbies too quickly onto that group. If you've got your own group where you can, almost like if you had to go to a sharker in Durban, they have these. When they're breeding the sharks, they have these small little shark tanks that they separate the sharks and protect them until they get to a bigger level, and then they allow them into the next stage and the next stage and the next stage. So that's how I've grown my teams, and I've known that. And then my leaders, when they get to a certain level, when they get to VIP, and they've signed their first 5 people in, then what I actually do is I then transition my leaders onto that bigger group, and I also ask them to protect their people, because there's a lot of chit chat that goes there that's unnecessary, and we need to protect them. But then we take as leaders that important information and filter it into our groups to make sure that our groups know what is going on within the organization, and as they mature, put them on the bigger group so that they can actually see, and then obviously onto the Facebook group as well. Okay, then so you can keep them up with new announcements, the PowerPoints, presentations, the compensation plan, all those kind of things. So you do what you've got to do, what's good for you. I know that my team, we protect our young ones. Okay, we protect our young ones, and then as our young ones become bigger, we put them into the bigger group, all right, so that the sharks don't eat them. I'm not saying everybody's a shark, I'm just saying that the bigger the boys and the big fish don't eat the little fish. Okay, so we've got to make sure that we protect everybody from that perspective. Okay, everybody happy with point 2? Nice and easy and simple. We've got to go back to basics, guys. Awesome. Thanks, George. And then, of course, complete your reason why, guys. We all know, ask the question, which one specific dream would you like to make come true in the next 5 years by using our business as a vehicle to do that? Ask them that question. Okay, what is that one thing? And then ask them the next question. So this one's not printed here, which is one that I love to ask as well. So please ask them the next question, because it is important for us to clarify. And that is, okay, how are you going to feel when this does not happen? Okay, so if it does not happen, how's it, Mish? Good to have you guys on board. Good to see you guys. Yeah, so what happens if you don't achieve it, guys? So ask that question again. What happens if you don't achieve it? How's it going to make you feel? How's it going to impact your family? And make sure their why is real. So I know I'm repeating this stuff, but you know, when I looked at it, I just thought this is ideal, and I've shared it on a couple of groups lately. And it's so important for us to just go back to this basic, simple checklist. Because guys, a lot of you are leaving for GoPro, okay? And what you're doing when you leave for GoPro is you're going to be out of your team's lives for at least a week, some of you 2 weeks period. When you're out of people's lives, out of sight, out of mind, and I've seen it over and over and over again. You come back in January, your people have decided that this is too hard, they're not going to do it, and you're going to have to rebuild. Barbara, you're on here, you've probably experienced that before. Sylvia, you've probably experienced Paul, you've experienced that before. George, I have. George and I have. Jan, you've probably experienced that as well. Amish, you guys have also probably experienced that. You come back in January and you've got to like try and get, and you just think, listen, I might as well start with a new team, because the team that I've left behind is a team that is battling, because we stepped out of their lives, okay, for that December period. And December period is the most important period in any person's networking business. So please understand that it's wonderful for us all to be going off to GoPro. It's fantastic to be going off there. It's magic. But remember, we're going to come off a different planet. So please, guys, before you leave, your key leaders, the key people you're working with, make sure they know their why. Ask them that question again. Before you leave for GoPro, I'm asking you to say, if you want to have a solid business when you get back again, you need to be asking them, okay, so remind me, what is your why? Which is the one specific dream that you've chosen, okay, to make come true in the next 5 years by utilizing this business, or 2 years, or whatever you've chosen or said to them, or the next year, next 12 months, okay? And then ask that next question. If you don't achieve it, how is that going to impact your family? So great. This is what I suggest you do. Let's go back to the checklist. Let's go, and you go work in your team over this period of time, because you're not going to be around for three-way calls, guys. Okay, we're not going to be here for three-way calls. So it's going to be we're vacuuming ourselves out of our business. It's fantastic to do the pilgrimage. It's awesome. But guys, we're leaving our people to the wolves. Okay, basically. And the wolves are, I'm tired, I can't do this, I'm just going to give up, I'll just wait till March and see how much money I can make, or January and see how much money I can make, and move on from there. All right, so please stay focused on this why. Do it with your key people. Make sure that they understand and work through this before we go off in that direction. Okay, set a set a short-term goal with them as well, which will really be awesome. Okay, again, you can ask them, so what situation in your life would you like to change in the short term? So between now and say the end of January, give them a 2-month goal, because that way you've actually tapped into them, and asked them to please make a vision board or something that they're going to keep in front of them, okay, in front of them, to make sure that they are they stay focused for this short period of time. December's crucial for this, and so is January. Come January, guys, they're not going to want to build. They're focusing on getting kids back to school. They're focusing on uniforms. They're focusing on stationery and teachers, and some kids are changing schools, and it's a pressure time of the year. And I know it should be a good time. And I tell you what, if we use this correctly, and we say to them, listen, if I could show you a way that you could perhaps make some additional money to alleviate the pressure of school uniforms and all the rest of it come January, this could be an amazing tool if we get the ball rolling now in in December, so that January you're helping them to create and leveraging some income as well. Okay, so that's a really good one, is to help them to set a short-term goal. Guide your new member through the first steps in the business. What is the bonus levels, how they can create the income. Okay, so for example, if they came in on a VIP package, show them the fast track, guys. This is where you set your short-term goals. This is where you set your short-term goals. Okay, don't say that one after a couple of glasses of wine. I think we're going to set your short-term goals. Okay, set your short-term goals. All right, make it the fast track. So go and show them where they can measure their fast track in their business, and make this a goal for them, because everybody can create a little bit of income doing that fast track. Okay, there we go. Set a plan and a deadline to achieve it, no more than a month and preferably a week. All right, so it really is a short-term goal. It's not asking them to commit their lives, guys. It's not asking them to stick with you for the next year. It's not asking them. It's asking them to stick with you for 1 month. This is so important, and I think we miss this. We're so busy. Can you give me 12 months of your life? And they can't even think of what they're doing. No. Can you give me 1 month? In the month of December, this is what I'd like you to do. In the month of December, let's fast track 5 weeks. Ask them for 5 weeks. Once you've achieved the 5 weeks, you can set the new goal. but ask them for 5 weeks, guys. That's carrot bars, direct compensation plan to help create activity within your business. There is nothing else. Okay, and yes, we structure them in the correct way, which is the earning leg and the learning leg. Yes, we do that. All right, but it is important for us to function in this area. So, any questions so far, or we are all clear? Give us a thumbs up. Say yes, we're all clear. We're all good. Okay, cool. Thank you very much. I know some of you have gone over this, but you know what? I just feel in my heart, this is what I need to repeat to all of us, because we're going to go pro and we're going out of people's lives, and we need to just get back to basics again so that we don't have to rebuild in January. Okay, we don't want to come back home and it's like, I've got no team and now I'm going to start all over again. Okay, again, we all know this. If we are going to set their short-term goal, which is the fast track, in the 5 weeks, then start helping them to make the list. Guys, please, everybody, when they start in this business, wants to make a list to help their best friend. That's not business, okay? Business is these questions. Who do you know who's hardworking, as hardworking as you are, okay? Who do you know who is as successful as you are? Who do you know who is as open-minded as you are? Okay, who do you know that is looking for extra income? Who do you know who would I like to have in my business most? Okay, so who would you like to have as a business partner? Okay, if you seriously went into a coffee shop, guys, seriously went into a coffee shop business, you would be very choosy and picky of who you would actually handpick and select to be your business partner in any endeavor. So why are we not doing the same here? The others can come later, but to kickstart, let's kickstart with like-minded people, with people who have the same heart, with people who want to actually see that they want to earn extra money, instead of us picking up the phone and chasing, and trying to get links out and people are not interested. That comes later. Let's focus on the comfortable zone. Let's try and find, we can all get back into our comfortable zone again. Okay. And then who do you know who has a lot of influence? Lovely questions, really simple. I will post these onto the group, these slides onto the group so you guys can recap them, look at them again, because really, honestly, I know I'm repeating this for some of you guys, but I just felt it important for all of us to relook at this again, because even from last week to this week, some of us haven't even implemented this. Okay. So it's really important for us to get going with this. Okay, so then help them call 3 people. I know this is the scary part, but you know what? If you know the people, it's very simple. Okay, when you're sitting there, we all know about the super invite script. We know if I could show you a way to, and so when you teach them to make the list of 20 names, it's their names, it's their mobile numbers, and a little bit about the person. Okay, and if we know that, if I could show you a way to start your own home business from home so that you don't have to face that ugly boss that you didn't like anymore, would you watch a 2-minute video? Okay, I know you're tired and it's a bad time at the end of the year, you're sitting around the bar and somebody says, oh, you know what, if only I could change my kids' schools, because really my kids absolutely hate going to school. Okay, so fantastic. Jot down name and number. A day or 2 later, phone them. Not immediately at the bride. Guys, do not do it at the bride. Do not do it at the family gathering. 2 or 3 days later, you phone and say, hey, Keith, you know what? I was listening to Claudia, and she really wanted to take her kids out of that school. And the thing that she said was holding back was the fact that the new school was a little bit more expensive. If I could show you a way where you could perhaps earn that extra income that could leverage so you could put into the other school, would you take the time to watch a 1-minute video? Guys, we don't veer from the script, hey? This is it. I know Claudia doesn't have children. Maybe it's her grandchildren, Keith. I'm putting you back how many years? 20 years ago. Okay, so guys, get on the call. When you do this, what is important is point number 7, all right? Make sure that you're inviting them to a specific event. So it could be your home meeting. It could be a group meeting. It could be someone else's home meeting. It could be a ladies' tea that's happening around the corner, or I don't know, just no alcohol at your meetings, please, guys. okay? Because they'll come and blame it that you stuck them with alcohol and you made them sign a €3,000 package, and you're going to get into trouble. So I would avoid the alcohol, okay? It's not a good plan. All right. Although you might need to swig one before you do the presentation, stick to the basics, okay? And then, guys, for those of you who don't, your upline is now gone and they've gone to GoPro. Please remember the GBG system. There are videos to watch there. And, you know, if you don't have GBG and you can't afford to get onto GBG, have a chat to your upline who is on GBG and see if you can't just, and I know I'm breaking every single rule right now, and that's all good. And it's for a good purpose, because I know I was chatting to Brendan Earp Jones the other day, and he does exactly the same thing. And that is, guys, you know what? Just lend them your link over this period. You can change your password when you come back, but empower, rather empower than disempower. Please, guys, think about this. Empower people. If they can't afford the $29 right now because they're not earning anything, then it is about time we empower them and let them allow them into the process of, in fact, now that I think about it, they don't even need the $29 to actually do it, because they just got to type in the email and follow the videos. The only video they won't have access to is Andrew's vaccination video, which I highly recommend you play. Okay, so please, guys, remember there are tools for you to utilize in that process as well. So help them to contact into wherever your meeting is that you've got going. All right. So please, again, I want to stress, and you've heard it a lot of times, my son's upline had a meeting, a home meeting on the 24th of December, okay, the night before Christmas, because he knew him and his team were leaving the next day and they were going to be out of action for 3 weeks holiday in January. And I went to a home meeting on the 24th of December 2010 and signed it into a network marketing. So there is never a bad time. It's just you have to have the braveness to organize it. But please don't invite people to your house and you haven't told them and then you dump your business on them. Please don't do that to them. Please don't do that, okay? They're going to hate you for it. Even though you're going to give them a Christmas present, it doesn't give you the right to show them your link, okay? Please be diplomatic about all of this. And then a nice gift to not give for Christmas, please, let me rephrase this, a nice tool that you can utilize over this period of time, because people have time, is the, what's the GoPro video? I've just, the video has just gone out of my mind now. Entrepreneur, is it the Entrepreneur? Yeah, Entrepreneur. Okay, because it's an hour long, especially for people who would love to change their careers in the next 12 months. It's really a good video. I just can't think of its name now. Is it the Entrepreneur? If someone can type it in, my mind's gone.
The Rise of the Entrepreneur.
There we go, the Rise of the Entrepreneur. Thank you so much. Awesome. Thanks, George. Thanks.
I find the text box.
And I just couldn't think of what.
There's no text box.
Oh, is there no text box?
Just me.
How come? Okay, that's interesting. Maybe I ticked that you
I can share as well. Looks like we're all co-hosts or something. I don't know.
Okay, so there we go. All right.
I think it's been tip-exed out.
Yeah, I must have tip-exed it out when I got you all on. Let's just see what it says here. More, allow participants to rename themselves. Participants don't. Okay, I'll have to do this on a new one because I've just started. Oh, okay. All right, so there must be a thingamajiggy that says, anyway, we'll work it out for the next time. So you're going to have to just put your hand up and talk if you want to ask, if you haven't got any questions. Maybe I ticked it when I actually set up my back office. I might have said no chat box. So I'll have to go and fix that in my back office. Okay, I had to use a new Zoom. I had to use new Zoom. Okay, guys. So there we go. So yeah, invite to, but be specific. Even if it's just home meeting. But when you are inviting people, tell them you're inviting them to explain a business presentation, not just to a Brian, then you plonk a presentation in front of them. Okay, or the Rise of the Entrepreneur. You will have your family and friends leave. Okay, just because you gave them a Christmas present doesn't give you the right to show them the video. Okay, so just remember that. Okay, that's point 7. Point 8. Guys, you know your dates for the next event. We all know when the dates are for the next event. Please make sure you get yourselves, make sure that they get into the next event, which is the next training in your area. Talk to them about that. You've got your tickets that you bought last time. Please make sure that you can actually use them and get them into the next event. Okay, super. All right, schedule them where they are. Also the online meetings, when when are they going to come back on again? If someone can maybe just have a chat to Lauren and find out if all the before you guys go, whoever's in your area, make sure January's are already uploaded. I would highly recommend that. You all make sure your what you call it, your meeting dates are set for January and February on the right booking platforms. I would highly recommend you do that before you leave, so that you empower your team to be able to go in and log them in the areas that they are. Okay, so even if they're visiting their family and friends in Cape Town, Durban, they'll be able to log on and have a look. So I would highly recommend that gets done. Super. Okay, educate expectations and make a long-term commitment. Okay, so again, now you can talk about saying, the fact that Robert Kiyosaki says that, don't quit on your business for the first 5 years, and just stick it out and just see how you're going to go from there. So yes, we're going to focus just on the next 2 months, and then after the next 2 months, we're going to relook at the situation, and your expectation is that we'll resit in the end of January and say, right now, this is what we've achieved, this is where we want to go, and would you like to make a long-term commitment? Okay, please explain to them that people are going to say no to them, and that it's okay, all right, that they mustn't be negative about it, and they just want to, and that they will want to quit, and it's okay, because we've all wanted to quit. So please make sure you tell them that as well. We've already got them into the next event, and then we've already got them to speak to 3 people, and then ask them if they would like to listen to some 20 minutes personal development. I would like to highly recommend and suggest at this point in time you tap them into network marketing material as opposed to something else, only because you want them to start listening to them. So what I do is I send the YouTube link to Eric Worre, to Masen Pajama Buses, Todd Falcone, and Ray Higdon. Okay, because I really think that they're really good people with regards to network marketing, and I tap them into those and say, look, just watch one of these 5-minute videos, listen to each one, and then see which one resonates best with you, and then choose that one and follow. Don't try and listen to all 4 because they have different personalities altogether. Okay, and then they can choose who they, I know, like for example, Todd Falcone is ideal for George, okay, but Todd Falcone might not be ideal for somebody who doesn't like to have that rah, get it going, I'm going to get you going. Okay, so for a newbie, just give them those 4 links to those 4 people's YouTube channels and get them to follow someone. Okay, so that's number 9. And then number 10, stay in touch. Guys, even when you're away, could I please highly recommend that you all stay in touch with your team. Even if it's a 5-minute check-in, you don't have to send intergalactical speeches and, I have a dream like Martin Luther Jr. did. You don't have to go and do that. Okay, just touch sides. I think somebody who does this extremely, extremely well, that touch sides is with his team every single day, from it just like the whole team is probably Adrian Pilling, just that 1-minute video. Hey guys, this is what I'm thinking. This is what my thought was for the day, and just that 1-minute video onto your team. You're in front of your team all the time. They're feeling positive about this. You're giving them positive energy. And then again, you can see what's on the back of my wall here. Teach them to just sit down at the end of the day and say, what can I do better? Okay, what can I do better? And just give some check-ins and say, hey, please. And I had a chat with one of my downline today, and I said, listen here, if you want to blow up and you're feeling frustrated with your downline, please never let them know. Please phone me and crap all over me. Okay, I'll take it. I'll take the brunt, because you always complain up, but you love down. Okay, well, if you remember that, you complain up, you love down. Okay, if you keep that going, you'll be very successful. Always remember, you ask the statement, do you want to be rich or do you want to be right? Okay, if you want to be right, you complain up loud. If you want to be rich, you love downline. Okay. All right. So very important for us to keep with that 10-point checklist. There it is, very simple. If you want to take a screenshot, you're more than welcome to. Those are the 10 steps. Just go through them, tweak them for yourself. I don't know that we have a checklist for carrot bars. We used to use this we had one that we edited and we used it for MLG, but I don't think we ever got around to doing one for carrot bars. So do this for your own team. Give a little checklist. I'm having a fold over presentation for my guys and showing them how to do that. All right. So there we go. Any questions that anybody would like to ask if I stop share, or we're all good? If you want to just put your video on, put your hand up, wave at me, and then you can speak. Because clearly there's no chat box. I don't know what I did with your chat box. I threw it away. Multiple can share, advanced settings. Who can share? Right. Are you all good? No. Hey, it's nice, it's simple. You've done it before, but it is just nice. It's just a nice refresher for all of us to look and say, before you leave for GoPro, guys, sit down and what is your strategy for your team? Okay, there's some of them that are not going. Barbara raised her hand. Yay, we at least got communication. Barbara, I'm going to unmute you. Go for it. You. Oh, wait. There we go. Go for it. You can speak now.
And listening, Michelle. Yes, there really are people watching and listening, so you're not all on your own. Just to say thank you. This has been very valuable. Yes, I'm going to go pro, and quite frankly, you know, you're so right. I'm out of their circle of influence when I leave. So It's all raw, exciting, us on the plane, but what about the people who left behind? So thank you. This is a very basic, simple, logical, emotional connection that we continue to have with our team. So I appreciate what's happened here tonight. Thank you.
Absolute pleasure, Barbara. Thank you so much for validating that, because it is how we need to it is about who we leave behind. Okay, so because we're going to come back with this so excited and so fired up, and we're going to look like Energizer bunnies, and they're going to say, I don't want what you've got, because we've forgotten to give it to them before we left. And if you're at Vegas, send your team. You know what? We're so good at doing it for the team that's in Vegas. Okay, but we're not doing it for our team that is at home. So make sure you've got your group, your leaders that you're looking for. You've taken them through these steps. You've reignited their purpose. Okay, and when you're out of their sight, send them pictures. Hey, same thinking of you. So if, for example, you're walking down the road and you saw Keith's boutique, stop and take a photograph next to Keith's boutique and say, hey Keith, thinking of you, so you're not in Vegas. Okay, you walk down and you see George Butler's beer. Okay, hey George, we got a Butler's beer here. All right, George, you want to say something?
Michelle, I think it was last year when we went to Malaysia. We all had a list in our you made a list of the 10 people that you haven't got in the business yet, but that was quite warm. That we sent the photographs of what we are doing, and just to get them jealous about what this lifestyle is giving us. And I had a list of 10 names, and I think 5 of them signed up when I got back.
Fantastic.
So maybe just to remember that again for the guys going to GoPro, that they can maybe use that as well. I think there's quite a few on the call here, I think, going to GoPro.
Yeah.
Just to do that again, just send pictures on WhatsApp, what you're doing or whatever, on Facebook or stuff like that. I think it worked last year when we went there.
Brilliant idea. Brilliant idea. Thanks for reminding us about that. And so, yes, so it's not just the guys that you're already got in the business, that your leaders that you don't want to pick up, you know, if they haven't tapped into the satellite link and they're not on the same page as you. But I love that. Handpick a few people and tag them in your pictures on Facebook that you would like for them to see the lifestyle that this business has created for you and the opportunities that have been created. So thank you for that, George. That's very valuable. Anybody else would like to add anything? Cool. Yes, Mish.
Guys, and those that are not going to go pro and going the online route, find out who else is also going online. Even if you're sitting in the comfort of your own home, create a WhatsApp group with people that are not going, that you know are going to do the online version, and share nuggets, because that's how it sticks. It doesn't help you just sit and watch and watch and watch and you're not taking anything in. If you're sharing it and discussing it afterwards, it's priceless.
Yes.
And you guys sitting at home have got the privilege of pushing pause and writing notes and not just being overwhelmed in the hype of everything. So
Love
embrace the opportunity and make it work for you. Okay.
Love it. Awesome. Thank you, Mish. Thank you, Mish. Yes. Creating that community. Paul, you want to say something for us? To us?
Yeah.
At us?
I'm gonna have I have a live streaming available. So if anybody in the Pretoria area, wants to contact me for this live streaming, then we can see if we can get together. I know Sylvia and myself will do something.
Fantastic.
We will get together and do the live streaming.
Fantastic.
But everybody else is welcome.
Awesome. Paul, thank you so much. And if anybody can private message me, if you know someone that's sort of living relatively close to Call It Drive, because I've got a downline that's on Call It Drive side that would love to connect with someone on that side. So if anybody that side's doing it, please let me know. That sort of area or close by, that's easy for them to get in and out of the airport. I don't know where you guys all live, but let me know, please. I'd appreciate it. All right. And I promise you next time I'll have the chat box working. I shall go in and see what's going on. Awesome. Thank you guys for sharing. I really appreciate that. Keith, are you going to do a Swannendam satellite?
Would have loved to, but the team here is presently so dead. I need to get a complete new team.
But you're it, and if you bought a ticket, don't forget to just send an email to, if you bought an existing GoPro ticket and you're not using it, please email and have your ticket converted to a satellite. Okay, please don't forget to do that. That'll be awesome. Great. Jan, love your hair.
Yeah. Oh, thank you. So we, Yogi and I, are also doing a streaming at home. I think we've probably got enough people, but yeah, I would love to connect with others who are doing it, and that would be fantastic. Great idea, Michelle Blechner. Thank you.
Yeah.
That we connect with others who are actually streaming as well. And
send each other's pictures. Send each other's pictures, because that's how Susie and I did it last year as well. Susie was in Cape Town and I was in Joburg, and the teams were sending pictures. And when it was lunchtime, this is what we're having for lunch, and this is who we've just worked. And what's nice too, you can send one-liners. What did you get out of that? What is the one thing you're going to apply in your team? So yeah, maybe someone can start. Maybe Jan, you're it. Start a satellite group, and then try and get, and then whoever we know have got satellites, then go to just that. So it's just people who have got satellites, and then you can tap in with I think Karen Bonsai. She didn't get her visa again, so she will maybe want to connect with your groups and chat and that kind of thing, which would be pretty awesome. Okay.
Great. Thank you.
Awesome, man. Great. Fantastic. Super, guys. Thank you very much. And I know I have shown my team this, and then I just thought to myself, I just did this with a group of people that I'm helping to fast track over the December period. And I just thought, you know what, this actually everybody needs to know. This basic. So Barbara, thank you for validating that again. Mish, Keith, George, Paul, Jan, thank you for your insights and your inputs as well. I really appreciate it. So the recording will be sent and put up for you guys. Share it with your groups, especially all of you going to GoPro. Please connect with your children that have been left behind. Nurture your sheep, keep them safe. Okay, you want to keep your sheep. Hi, Megs. Hi, Megs. And Michelle's going to be doing lifestyle videos from Mauritius with Megan, and snorkeling and all that kind of thing as well. So that's going to be so cool. I'm jealous. So yeah, it'll be great, guys. So thank you very much. Anybody else like to finish off or just share one thing that they learned? I'm really sorry I don't have the chat box. I'd love to know from each of you what was one thing you took out of today. But if you can't, yeah, just let us know what was one thing that you benefited from. What Barbara shared, what she got from it. So I'd just love to know if there's anybody else would like to just share something else. Because I know,
I think keeping in touch is a good idea, Michelle. And then the other thing is that we must. It just reminded us about the checklist on the startup. So I think that is important, and we tend to forget to do that 100%. And I think it's important because you gotta get this guy that you sign up through those things. You gotta get him through those things. And in the haste that we're carrying on and putting people in the business, you tend to forget that stuff. So I think that's important, just to get a reminder on that.
Awesome. Awesome. Thanks for that. Great. Okay. Anybody else want to add? You're all good? I promise you next week we'll have a chat box. Melanie, great. Sylvia, great. Alan, welcome. It's good to have you guys on board. Margriet, awesome. Always have you guys here. And there we go. Michelle Bluch's daughter Megan is sending Merry Christmas cards to us. So there we go. So cool. Thank you. Keith, you want to add?
I think it was all just a very good memory jogger, just to refresh our minds a bit of what we're slipping up on and so on. And I took screenshots of all 10. Shall I post them on Back2Basics?
Yes, you are. We can always trust you to do that. Thank you. That'll be flipping awesome. Thank you so much. That'll be great.
Back2Basics or on the Carrot Gold?
Do it on the Back2Basics, and then we can post the recording on both. Great, thanks, Keith. Thank you. Awesome. Right, super guys. Thank you for your participation, and God bless you all. And we look forward to an awesome time. And for those of you who are traveling, like between now and next week, please travel safely. And we're going to have an absolute blast in Vegas, so it's going to be super awesome to see you all. So take care, and we will chat soon. Some of you I'll chat to through the week before then, but travel safely, guys. Okay, take care. Cheers, man.